And I don't know if I want to read. Okay. The earth above, the abyss below, yielding without and critical within. A little movement can lead to a big collapse. Receptive to criticism and danger. There is much that can be improved. One must work with others to fix the little things. There's the main theme. Work like you're in the army. You don't know where you're going to fight, but you got to deal with, fix the little things because it improves the odds. Okay. Like the image that came to me, I know she was working in her garden all summer and fixing things in the garden, fixing all the little things in the garden. And yet with the Uranus hitting the Mars, who knows if it's going to be there next year? But she's still fixing it up for that just anyways. Okay, so the idea of having to work with others to fix little things, well, it just gives some themes going on within it. The image, ears wide open, receptive to danger, ready to act. The odds are against you. Do not underestimate adversity. Take care of the small things at the beginning. This is not the time to be critical of others. You are bound together in danger. Don't complain. Strive to make improvements. No room for grand gestures. It's the little things that matter. This is a Virgo theme. And the judgment was, can one maintain virtue when no one else is? Can one maintain integrity when no one else does? Well, that's a nerve because regressed Sun, her Saturn just went over the IC, the integrity point. Insecurity within will find no support without. Strength within will find no support without. In such situations, one must hold on to duty. If one is healthy and no one else is, if one is healthy and no one else is, one must face the danger and help. If one is capable and no one else is, one must get involved. To accept inertia will lead to failure and guilt. Strength of character is essential. If one does not hold on to what is right, one will deserve what one gets. So this is the theme of the Army. You're part of the team, you're working on it, or you're not. There's other things, I'm not going to go into it, but it's in line, it went from line 3, which was the last year, into line 2. And this, I want to read these lines just so you can see 6 and the 3rd. Here we go. It's written for when you're throwing coins, you get numbers and totals, and that's the 6th and the 3rd, or 3rd place. So we get 3 things. Last year, one wants to return but cannot. One's services are needed. Follow through on what has been started. If you resist or delay, there will be blame. Are great implications, much insight. Reinforce those who depend on you and those on whom you depend. That's the Pentan within the, that's Pisces Pentan or hexagram within the Virgo. The 3rd one is that's the hexagram within the hexagram. This is the Pentan, the 3rd one. Once the course has been determined, one must hold to one's duty. Do not allow your energy to get dissipated. Even if the leader is weak, one cannot shirk responsibilities without blame. One must help where one can. You do what you got to do. So it's a Virgo theme. Okay, that's last year. It's changed to line 2 for this year, or it's changing on November 16th. And whenever there's a change, it's a significant notice of the difference of energies. So there's still similar themes, but here, critical movement. One moves in danger and acts out of duty. Words of authority will be heard. There will be grumbling, but no opposition. Water is boiling. It cannot be left like this. One must be careful not to burn oneself or others. That's interesting. We're thinking of these things. And we know that transit's got the Uranus hitting the Mars and the Sun. So that's the danger. And it's giving sort of a plan around in the progressed Sun. You're getting a different information about a way to approach this that would keep you on track with your inner growth. Your soul's growing. Forceful expression, constant improvement. One stands strong when others are weak. One will not retreat even if surrounded by danger. So these things are there. It's like, I think, but there's a slight shift that you read that you got to think about them a bit and work on them. But it also changed from the second, like for each line of a hexagram, there's a hexagram on the 2nd level. So this was line 2 of the Army, of the concept of duty. And for the year ahead, it goes into 49, the hexagram of revolution, called revolution molding, of letting go of the old so then times of change. But it was in the hexagram of clinging and fire, clarity and dependency for the previous year. It's a different hexagram. So I wanted to just work the hexagrams a little bit because we haven't, this is a really good example of them. And with my teaching, there's 4 books, one for each season. So this one, I don't need this one. I need the, sorry, I just gotta get the, this is winter I need. Okay, here we go. See, you guys are at a level where this can make sense where you can follow me. At the beginning, this is too much information. So we've got to go down to hexagram 49. You can see on the printout after we did line 7, we're seeing the next one is 49. It would be line 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I highlighted every other one. But it's hexagram 49. And near the end of Pisces here. Where are we here? There we go. Okay, here's 49. I don't know if I want to read the whole hexagram. I might just, I'll read a couple of things about it. It's too rich a database. Water above, fire below. Nothing will stay the same. Laughter above, clarity below. One sees what one wants. To welcome the new and be considerate of the old would be wise. Too much pleasure will diminish credibility. Too fanatical approach will weaken support. The image. Footprints in the snow. The temperature is rising. One has to consider the force of water if one is to reach the goal. It is important to avoid extremes. And then, so this is a theme for the whole of next year. The judgment pleasure without clarity within. In anticipation of spring, people are enjoying themselves. In the midst of frivolity, one becomes conscientious. One meets with laughter and with sincerity. If one does not withdraw, one could be ridiculed for being so concerned. One will not be heard. The light within must be nurtured until others of like mind and values arrive. So it's like you're waiting for the support of people on the same wave as you are, rather than being caught up with others. So that's the main theme. But when you go through the lines of the hexagram, it's going through 6, 5, 4, 3. It goes in back order. But the first one, down here, 5, 6. Okay, here we go. The first one is going to be from November 16th to January 17th. So they're about 2 months. Each one's about a 2-month period. Supported by what is right. One trusts in the law of karma. One is considerate of others and rests content with what one has. So that's the next few months through the end of the class into the new year. Good vibrations increase. Be encouraging. Help will come. Insincerity abounds. One knows one's limits. One pulls away from frivolity and favoritism and takes time to reflect it. So these are the 3 factors for this next line 6. Then once you get to January 17th, it changes to line 5, line 4. So, okay, I just go through this. Whoops, line 4, sorry. Line 5, when it goes to line 5 for January, February, into March 17th, it's do not be swayed by the frivolity of the moment. Protect the worthy. Someone approaches aggressively. They cannot be trusted. Do not surrender your principles. Okay, so this is a time period when her Uranus-Mars starts coming together. Uranus starts opposing Mars and squaring her Sun. Someone approaches aggressively. They cannot be trusted. Do not surrender your principles. Okay. 5th place, shock, thunder. Sudden action will remove tension. Just do it. One enjoys one's position and it shows favor to those who are close by. Unattracted by rewards, the worthy are difficult to find. So these are the 3 little contemplations that go into these next couple of months. So you can go through each of these and there's going to be a different theme and different implications for these sub-themes. This idea of the revolution and molting inside of all the duties and the difficulties and things you got to do of the army. And then it goes one step further. And on the step further, I'm not going to read them. I just read you the names of the hexagrams and we'll try and work it from there just a little more briefly. But once you see this theme, like if we look, we just did the previous one lines. Okay, we'll stay on this one. We'll stay on this one we just did, because that's when the Uranus and Mars start coming back. Okay, they don't be swayed by the frivolity of the moment. Protect the worthy. Someone approaches aggressively, they cannot be trusted. Do not surrender your principles. So we take that, and you have the Uranus opposing your Mars and squaring your Sun. Okay, high reaction. Don't surrender your principles. So then inside of that, the hexagram until January 17th, it's in, sorry, 42. It's, where are we here? Okay, 42 is a hexagram called increase. And then last, in September, October, it was in the hexagram called difficulty at the beginning. 42 is increase. So there's a theme of increase, and there's steps for every 10 days inside of this, where you can get tuned in even more. Without interaction, it's not worth going here. But the next one after increase goes to the arousing force. Then it goes to biting through. And then it goes to following. Then it goes to innocence, the unexpected. So then it starts breaking through things inside of this revolution molting. These are the themes going on inside of it. And then from August 22nd until September 23rd, that 1 month, it's in the hexagram of the darkening of the light, where it says, oh, well, you have to hold things within during that. So there's themes. This is a type of information that's different. It came from astrology originally, but it's different than what we're used to getting. And people don't know you can do this, but it really helps giving some guidelines, some principled guidelines on how your sun is going through, how your confidence is building, regardless of what's happening with the transits on your inner theme. That's so, to me, that's so supportive. It shows a guideline to how to work it. Now, okay, just move these